What's going on, guys? Broken Prophet here. Welcome back to the vlog. Behold, this is the day that the Lord hath made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. How's y'all's Tuesday going? I'm not even gonna look at my watch to make sure it's Tuesday. It just feels very Tuesday-ish. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's Tuesday. But anyway, hopefully you guys are having a great start to your week. As promised, this video, we are going to do a review of the Conjure Cards Divination deck. Now, y'all, hopefully you guys liked the last video that I did, a review on the Hoodoo Tarot by Miss McKillar. I don't know. And I told you guys if we reached a certain light goal, then I do a review of this deck. But the thing is, I forgot how many likes I told you guys I wanted, and I cracked the deck open anyway. I couldn't wait. So I'm going to go ahead and do the review now. But before we get started, a couple of announcements. One, the upcoming webinar. Yes, right. We got a brand new webinar out. It is going to be on the, and I just said when it's going to be. I just said when it's going to be. It's on the 21st of this month. So you've got one day over 2 weeks. It's going to be on the 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, it is going to be recorded. If you cannot catch it live, if you do catch it live, then there will be a Q&A afterwards. Okay. This webinar is going to be on love spells, love magic, but with a twist. We are going to be, because I already did one on love, but since it's going to be a week after Valentine's Day, the Super Bowl of cuffing season, this one is going to cover the. It's going to be very broad reaching. Are we going to cover like relationships and marriage? Absolutely. Are we going to cover love of a very temporary and one night nature? Absolutely. Are we going to cover grown folks? Absolutely. And we're going to cover a little bit of controlling, compelling for that baby, no, Lord, not baby daddy, no, for that sugar daddy, sugar mama type of love type of relationship. We're going to cover all of that. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to like it. So be sure and run that donation through the website, and I'll be sure and get the links out to you in a timely fashion. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into this deck. Like I said, I decided to do this. I guess it's a series because I don't think enough people understand how important divination is. And if y'all see me looking down again, as a special perk for channel members, they're here kind of like my live studio audience while I'm recording this video for you guys. And they get to see it early. So I try not to pay attention to them while I'm filming, but somebody will say something weird. Usually Dee Dee. So anyway, people don't understand how important divination is. And I think because of like say Miss Cleo here, call me now, and all this psychic line and that psychic line, it's become more of an entertainment based type of thing, or it's become like really spooky because of movies and whatnot. So breaking it down into components, divination is simply asking for direction. So this is what I mean by that. If we are traveling along the road, right, and I know where I want to go, but where I'm at right now, I don't recognize it. Because you ever been driving somewhere and you know where you're headed, but you're like, this don't look like the way there. You have to stop and ask someone, like, hey, can I get to there from here? And sometimes folks say, no, you way off. You need to go this way and that way. Well, that's what divination is. If you're ever in life and you're looking around like, I do not want to be here, doing readings is a way to get the directions to where it is that you want to be. Now, sometimes it may seem like you're like, I don't want to be here. Let me do some work. And it may seem like you're on the way out. And then you turn back because you didn't know where you were going. Divination is a way to find your way out of a place that you don't want to be in anymore. So just think of it as a way to gain directions. Okay. And and yeah, you can also look into people and stuff like that. Y'all love getting the tea. Yeah, you can look at where somebody else is headed as well. Just think of it more as a way of giving directions. And in hoodoo, there's no standard way of performing divination. Like I said in the last video, some people do bones, Some people do playing cards, some do tarot. That is a way, that is basically up to you how you want to learn to divine. Just learn to do it simply because, listen, I may know how to bake a cake, right? And I know the recipe. But it may not be cake time, it may be pie time. I should have asked everyone in the crowd that I'm baking for, did they want cake or pie? The same thing applies to doing work. You may know how to do a money drawing working, and you are very good at it. But sometimes you want to pull cards and go, should I even do this working? Because see, that working might bring you a couple of $100, but you might have had like a couple of meal on the table. So you want the directions to get to the bigger destination. Okay. So let's get into this deck. Now, this is, I'll be honest, guys, I was very, very excited about this one. Not that I have anything, vested in this deck of cards or anything against the Hoodoo Tarot. But those of you who know me know that I read regular playing cards. I don't read tarot really. And this deck of cards is based off of playing cards. So I'll be honest with y'all. I opened it up, and when I got it, I mean, it felt. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that box? The box is sturdy, and for some reason, by the way it looked, when I looked at the ad, I thought that these were going to be wooden cards, which to me would have like been cool, some wooden playing cards. But I opened it up, and you open it up. Of course, it comes with a book, not as big a book as the Hoodoo Tarot, but it's got a nice little book in there, and the backs of the cards here. Now, the only thing that I have changed is the cards where they had a band keeping them together. Now, I open up this and it says Secrets of the Old Time Mountain Prophets. What deck will you be dealt? See there? Now, some people may assume that since it says Conjure Cards, it's a Hoodoo deck. Here's a little bit of history, guys. The word conjure wasn't our word. And by us, I mean, Southern Black folks. The word conjure actually, back in the day, was white people mountain magic, what people call granny magic or Appalachian magic. What some white people assume is hoodoo, like, oh, my grandma did hoodoo. No, she did Appalachian granny magic. Okay. So that is what this deck is based around, but you can still use it for divination. Remember, you can use whatever method of divination you want. I just don't want y'all thinking that since it says Conjure Cards that it's a Hoodoo inspired deck, because it's not. It's Appalachian folk magic inspired deck. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. So I cracked open the cards, and they unfortunately were not wood, but they're very wood like, and they are thick. I don't know if the camera picked this up, but they are thick. Like, there's a regular playing card and there's one of these bad boys. Like, they're very wood like. You know, I wouldn't say it's like double the thickness, but it is noticeably thicker. Noticeably thicker. Why am I doing that? Thicker. So, since it is playing card based, you've got some standard, you've got the Joker, and they do their cards kind of like the Lenormand deck and kind of like this deck of cards that I've told you guys about before, the Gypsy Witch cards. Now, I don't have a Lenormand deck, but the Gypsy Witch cards are very similar in that there's a playing card, but there's also a picture. Think of it as kind of a hybrid between regular playing cards and tarot. It's a hybrid. That's kind of what the Lenormand deck is anyway. But let's keep on going. So the back of the deck looks like a moth. I don't know. I'm not a bug person. Looks like a moth to me, a butterfly, something like that. Okay, it's on the back. And on the front, like I said, you've got the standard playing card things with the picture. So this is the Joker, and it looks like a cat. Now, we'll say with this deck, y'all saw I had some criticisms about some of the artwork in the Hoodoo Tarot. This deck, it looks like my nephew drew it, which I guess is mint. I don't know. But if you look, even the writing looks like somebody hand wrote it on. And so it's a black dog and a black cat. But I mean, I'm trying to get it so that y'all can see. I'm trying to keep it centered with the camera, the way my camera is set up now. But y'all see what I'm saying? It looks like someone wrote that, because the way it looks on this card is not the way the handwriting, the word Joker, looks. Looks like someone just hand wrote it, which I guess, that's kind of cool, right? Even the regular cards, because see, here's the Ace of Spades, and it has like I guess that's a baby's bed. It looks like the Ace of Spades was written on there, even the way it's shaded. Because I pay attention to stuff like this. It like let's see if you can see right there the spade pip. That's what that's called, the pip. Did y'all know that? The little like the diamonds, the club, the suits, those are pips. So that's why you had Gladys Knight and the pips. See, I'm telling you how old I am. They were pips. They were, dance behind. But anyway, so you see how that's not perfect. It's got that little hump over there. And then on the bottom down here, it's kind of shaded weird. Like, they're basically making this deck look like it was handwritten, which I like, because remember, I spoke about how, hoodoo wise, now not Appalachian Conjure, but hoodoo wise, we didn't have access to tarot cards, and we really didn't have access to playing cards, but we made playing cards. Anyone who has ever been to a state funded institution of higher learning, y'all know what I mean. It's always somebody in there that'll tear up some paper and make some playing cards if there's not a deck available. And so when you go through the deck, you've got the same thing, um, the hand drawn or hand painted look to the cards. Now, one thing that I'll say that made this different is that when you look at a regular deck of playing cards, the pips are situated in such a way that if you flip it over, it looks the same. Okay, the only, flip it over, looks the same. See, the hearts are shaped, or the little booby part is up and the pointy part is down, and flip it, booby part is up. I don't know, booby part, I don't know. Same thing with the court cards. You flip them, they're the same. What they did with this deck is they did not do that. You see, everything is pointed in the same direction. So when you flip it over, see, now they're pointed down. They did that because when you go through the book, they give meanings and reverses. Remember, this is a hybrid deck between playing cards and tarot. So they do actually have reverse meanings. So if you pull the 5 of clubs and it's upside down, you've got a reverse meaning. Okay. You've got a reverse meaning. Now, am I know that having reverse meanings are a thing in tarot. We don't have them in playing cards, the way I read them. But I mean, it's a thing with this deck, and I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just different, and I like the way that they really explain the cards. Now, it's a lot of memorization involved, but I don't think it's any more than trying to memorize like a deck of tarot cards. Now, if you wanted to read intuitively, you've got enough picture there. And I think the picture kind of coincides with the meaning. So you can kind of figure it out, kind of. Some people intuitively read tarot where they don't read the book, they just look at the picture, and then they just use their intuition to draw from the picture. That's why I like reading playing cards, because a pip is a pip. You got to use that spiritual brain meat to divine with that. But they do provide you with a picture here, and they give you a really good and thorough definition. Like, for instance, the Ace of Clubs. Let's find it so I can show it to y'all. I'll find the Ace of Clubs and then I'll read it off to you. Here we go. All right, so here's the Ace of Clubs. It looks like a dove on a branch. And it says, in Christian Appalachia, the dove is held sacred as the earthly embodiment of the Holy Ghost and is considered the one animal the devil cannot shapeshift into. Interesting. That's not a hoodoo thing. That's not a Hoodoo thing. That's an Appalachian folk thing. As such, it is 7 years of bad luck to kill a dove. I've heard that. Much like the solitary journeys taken in the scripture under the Spirit, the Ace of Clubs shows solitude, whether being alone or lonely. Likewise, the Center Club looks like the entrance to a cave, and to dream of a cave is a sign of others giving you messages, and the others in quotation, so it means spirits. If you whisper prayers to the dead at the mouth of a cave, they'll hear you. I'd heard that too. Depending on the situation, this card can identify solitude one is experiencing if the card is reversed, as well as let you know the dead wish to speak if it is upright. When safety is questioned, the upright dove gives a positive answer. So they really go in depth. Let's do one more. Let's do the two of clubs. There's the two of clubs. It is the mole. The two of clubs, the twin of the two of hearts. The mole deals deeper in business and social life here. The two of clubs shows a handshake or an agreement and new things coming in the distant future. Reversed, the mole speaks of secrets being kept, disappointments, and opposition to your attempts. The mole also has a strong nose, and when it's down, reversed, it can also indicate someone or something that is best to be avoided. I like this. I said if I was going to do my own Hoodoo themed deck, it would be a deck of playing cards. It would. And you know what? I think that I could actually do something like this, but instead of having it Appalachian folk magic, I could have it Hoodoo. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really considering coming out with a deck of cards. I know y'all saying Prophet write a book. I'm gonna write a book, y'all. I am. But I'm gonna try not to have the book be so thick because I want y'all to know not everything, but enough to get started. And these Hoodoo books that are out now, they're just half truths or flat out lies, and I don't know. It would be an undertaking, but we shall see. But anyway, all in all, I think the artwork on this deck is more consistent than on the Hoodoo Tarot, and by that I mean it's not great. It looks like it was hand drawn by someone who wasn't particularly artistic, but I think that was in an attempt to make it look rustic, and it looks that way the entire way through the deck. Whereas with the Hoodoo Tarot, if y'all remember, the artwork was kind of inconsistent. Some cards look like photographs, some look like paintings, some look like abstract. I'm looking through dirty water, you know. So they weren't really consistent. These cards, the artwork looks the same. It looks like someone who wasn't particularly artistic drew these the entire way through. And you can draw inference with the picture. Like there's, two rings. Okay, there's a diamond. There's two rings. There's now that King of Spades. That one doesn't have reverse. And I'm gonna look up and see what that means. But as you see, like look, two Black Widows right there. The Now look, I mean, someone drew that. Now that looks like my nephew drew that. What is that? A snake? It looks like my nephew drew that one. Look. See, y'all see what I mean? It looks like someone drew this and they said, bump it. We're gonna make some cards. But I like that it's consistently mid the entire way through. Like there's a tombstone with three X's, like the cartoon. Whenever you would die in a cartoon, it's like the X. Or whenever you had a jug of poison, there's like three X's on it, let you know you don't want to drink out this, my boy. But anyway, I mean, I kind of like that. I mean, even the box looks old on the inside. It looks like some water got in there, but it didn't. It looks like an old cigar box, which ironically, a lot of Hoodoo shops would use back in the day. Like they didn't have plastic bags. You just pack up your stuff in an old cigar box. And that was that. But if the artwork is consistently what it is the entire way through the deck. There's no, this card looks amazing. This card looks like it was rushed. They don't give you a bunch of, like, it's not a full picturesque scene like in the standard tarot deck, but you do have enough where I think either if you want to read intuitively, you could, or if you want to use the picture as a shortcut to learning the meaning, that there's enough picture there that'll help you do that. Okay, and to be honest, I read some of the meanings, and they kind of coincide with how we read Hoodoo cards. If you have taken my playing card webinar, so I do think if you've taken my webinar, you could probably hit the ground running with these, with a few changes or whatnot. I'm not going to be one of those folks who goes, it aligns with what I like, so I'm gonna give it a high rating. I think they both are neck and neck, the Hoodoo Tarot and the Conjure cards. They're different, but apples to oranges, they're both equally sweet as far as I'm concerned. I would have no reason with these learning how to divine with these cards. No, I would have no problem learning to divine with these cards, or no problem with people doing so. Y'all know I'm a traditionalist, just like I have no problem with people learning to divine with the Hoodoo Tarot. So, apples and oranges, whichever one calls to you, because y'all love saying that everything calls. Y'all ain't nothing called, y'all. You like the way it looks, then get it. Okay. If you like more of a playing card, old card looking feel, then great. If you like more of a tarot artsy type of deck, then go with the Hoodoo Tarot. Okay. But anyway, hopefully you like this. Hopefully you like this review. I will do some more as more cards hit the market. But remember, I spoke about one card in the Hoodoo Tarot in the last video, and that was the Black Herman card. And I told you guys about a book, and I couldn't find it for the video, but I found it. The one I have is Black Herman: Secrets of Magic, Mystery, and Legerdemain. Black Herman was a black stage magician from back in the day. And so, here's the thing. Like say the beginning, I told you the front of the book was stage magic, David Copperfield, David Blaine, those types of folks, card tricks, coin tricks, stuff like that. Like this one, talks about, something called how to do the cigar trick, where it was, a cigar is laid across the fingers and the hand is slowly turned in a vertical position, but the cigar remains, yes, and it tells you how to do that, right? It's kind of like, what was it? What y'all remember that old trick that folks used to do, where it'd be like, hold on, hold on, yeah, that type of stuff. But if you flip to the back of the book, he actually, in the back of the book, it's part dream book back here, where it says, if you dream of horns, this presages danger to the dreamer. And then it gives some numbers as well. So, the back of the book helps you to divine your dreams. Um, if I dream of bacon, okay. Yeah, see, there. Introduction to Dreams. That's in the back of the book. Um, let's see what else we have in here. A bunch of different stuff in here. Like he speaks about the significance of dreams. He talks about, I guess, his version of astrology. Like if you were born in June or born in July, born in August, you got that there. Um, so there's you know, some hoodoo stuff in the back. I'm trying to find. Oh, here we go. So here we go. It talks about gaining the love of the opposite sex. He put some hoodoo in the back of the book. So you know how they talk about the mullet, like that white guy haircut. They say business in the front, party in the back, or something like that. Well, that's what this is. Card tricks in the front, real magic in the back. And he gives a little recipe here: chamomile flowers, 1 pint of Chinese wash. Here's something that says about knowing what others are doing and how to go about that, about uncrossing friends. He goes into that. Uniting two people in marriage. Might add to, and the uncrossing friends, and then he gives the recipe: 1 ounce Van, some King Solomon oil, some power oil, devil's shoestring, John the Conqueror, stuff like that. And this book, when was this book copyrighted? 1938. 1938. So tells you, gives you a little bit of history and shows you how long this stuff has been around. But anyway, Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Um, and I will do more later. Y'all want me to do some book reviews, and to be honest, I can't bring it to my I can't bring myself to I I can't bring myself to dadgum buy these books, even if it's to sit here and review them. I might, I might. Y'all can run that donation. I tell you, I will use some of the proceeds from the webinar to buy some Hoodoo books and review of y'all. So leave a comment down below, or let's go over to the Kick one of these nights, and then we'll talk about which books should be lined up first. But anyway, guys, I'm up out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. You guys have been amazing. The live studio audience, I have no idea what you guys were saying because y'all always say something weird and make me laugh. But thank y'all for being here. Thank you guys, and thank y'all. I don't know. I just have to say thank you because I appreciate you. Y'all have a good one. I will see you guys next time. Profit out.